Greetings, dear ones. I am Kryon of Magnetic Service. The information that you've had today is core information about the magnificence of the human being. Consciousness allows you to see things that you did not see before. This is different, dear ones. It's different because that's not what you were really taught. If you take a look at what you were taught, it's not that way. In fact, there is something else hidden in the room, that room of your life, that room where all of those energies and emotions are stored. And I'll tell you that in just a moment. But first, let's celebrate what is taking place here. The planet is going through a major shift. Years ago, I told you that the shift brings uncertainty to some, distress to many, because of the change. That you cannot take what you call human nature and have it start to shift without these kinds of things. If you feel the core of your reality start to move into that which is different than it was, the first reaction to most is fear. Because you want things to stay the same. This even goes for those who would watch a program like this calling themselves light workers or healers even. Because the processes themselves start to change. The reactions to the processes start to change. And even in that, there is so much uncertainty. The uncertainty that so many of you feel, again, leads to more uncertainty, anxiety, worry. How many of you are starting to awaken in those magic times that the teacher Shamir told you about? And instead of meditating, you'll awaken and say, what is it that I should worry about? Now you know we know you so well. Because that seems to be one of the first reactions that so many of you will have to change. And the change may be subtle. It may not actually be those things that you can linearize or put your finger on, as they say. Maybe they are simply changes of energy, and that you're picking it up. That's what's going on this planet at this moment, dear ones. That you're feeling that which is different. You're feeling something you haven't felt before. And so it is not the path that you've gone down so often as you were taught. There's something different. Now you have several ways of treating this. And that has been discussed this day. There are those who will go to the worst possible scenario and develop it. There are those who will then instead look at it and actually admire it. And they will say, this is what the ancients spoke of. This is what Kryon spoke of. This is what so many of my teachers have spoken of. I felt this in my bones. I felt this in my persona, that we are starting to have a changing earth. And there will those who actually celebrate this and say, I know that it is difficult, but here it comes. Here comes opportunity. Again, I will say the things I've said before. If dark, horrible things seem to be crawling out of the cracks of this planet and you're seeing them for the first time, they were always there. And that is a sign, dear ones, that light is starting to come out. Because whereas in an older time, these things would simply stay covered up and stay as they are and stay processing as they always were, now they're starting to show. What's going on in your room? Are things starting to show perhaps that you think are ugly. Perhaps that is on purpose as well, so that you can take a look at what has always been there. That multidimensional broom is at hand, and there's something hiding in it. The thing that would help to sweep away all of these things that we have spoken of that are inappropriate for your magnificence, including worrying about the future, including the anxiety you might feel when you awaken early. There's something hiding. And that hiding is that which is from Spirit. I would like to tell you about something you didn't expect. Again, you tend to linearize everything. You say, okay, how much work is it going to take me in order to clean these things up or to change my life or whatever it is you wish to do? And you analyze it this way, and you make the lists, don't you? And you say, well, I have to go here and do this, and I'm paying attention to the teacher Shamir, and I believe this, and I'm going to do this and do that, and all these things. But you tend to put them in a list. You tend to linearize them because you don't know something. There is a secret. It's one of the best secrets I could ever give you. You think of yourself pushing a ball uphill, perhaps, in order to get to that place where you want to be. What if I told you that on the other side of that ball that you're pushing uphill, there are hands that are grasping it and starting to pull it with you? Are you getting this? Here's the secret. Spiritually, humans all have free choice. You can do whatever it is you wish in your lives, not even spiritually. Free choice is that way. But when you get into a certain realm, a certain energy of compassion and willingness to see a grander truth, when you start that path, dear ones, let me tell you what happens. Even though you have free will, it's almost like all that is spiritual looks at you and a light starts to shine and say, look at what she's doing. Look at what he's doing. Look at this. Now we can help them because they've made the choice to change. They've made the choice to look. Once you make the choice to look, is God bigger than you were told? Are you bigger than you were told? Are there processes that will change your reality? Are there processes more than that might even be multidimensional? You activate them in the ways that you've been taught today, but you didn't know this, is that when you start to activate them, you're getting help, a lot more help. Light worker, there is enhanced light when you start to do these things. You might even say that they seem to spread their own light in a logarithmic way. They amplify themselves in a way that is not even linear. When I first came to this planet, I gave you the puzzle. I gave you that which was the metaphor. I said, when you're in a dark room and you light a match, interesting things happen. The first is that everyone can see just a little better, and they may not even know the match holder. But that by having just the little light, everyone benefits. It's a metaphor that means that which you do is grander than you think. And it's not just for you. Is it too grand to say that all of the souls in humanity might know when you light that match? If you are one this day to say, I want to hear these things again, I want to start practicing some of these things, you've just thrown a switch of intent. For over 30 years, we gave you the power of pure intent as an axiom to enhance your life in a greater fashion than just throwing the switch. that ball that you are pushing uphill in order to get rid of the fears and the anxiety, we are grasping it and we are pulling it as you push it. This is the hidden secret. Free will, but when you start to examine the things that we are speaking about this day, the compassion, the coherence, and all that is kind, you get into that realm of the very core of God. Love changes all. It's more than just a hand that is helping you, dear ones. It is your destiny. Indeed, when you start to examine that which you've never examined before, you're not on an unknown path at all. You're on a beautiful path that we'll help you with. All of these things we give you because we can, but most of all because you decided to look and be here with us today. This will not be the only time that we present this information in channel, for this is the information that we came to give you. You are bigger than you think, more magnificent, on purpose, on this planet. Your name, we know. And so it is.
And so, dear family of